And here we have it. After we saw a lot of reports yesterday about Alonso becoming the new Chelsea manager, Chelsea this morning, and even Alonso himself has confirmed the move. Alonso has now become the new Chelsea manager for the next 4 years. And it's very interesting. I've got a lot of thoughts on it. I've got a lot of doubts about it. I'm skeptical. I'm going to give Chelsea fans some insight about Alonso, how he was at Real Madrid, and why it never worked out at Real Madrid. But listen, I think this move can either be one of the best moves and can either kickstart this Chelsea project, which I don't know if it can ever be kickstarted, but I think they might have chosen the right manager to kickstart it with, or whether we might see a back-to-back sacking for Alonso from Real Madrid and Chelsea. Listen, I'll give everything. I'll give them all thoughts about it. Before we get to it, make sure you all like the video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. I've got big up all of you guys. We're getting close to 34K on the second channel. You know what I mean? You guys are vibing with this. Vibing with this. And speaking of vibing, my Drake review of his album is coming out tomorrow. So make sure you all subscribe and, of course, comment your own thoughts. Chelsea fans, let me know what you guys think. Real Madrid fans, let me know what you guys think. And everyone else, of course. Listen, I'm going to be real. I thought initially Alonso was going to Liverpool. I think Liverpool was the destination for him. And I thought he was going to wait because, as we've seen, Arne Slot, he is on thin ice. Arne Slot is on thin ice, especially after what happened yesterday with Salah pretty much tweeting out that the standards of this club must not change. Basically, like an indirect to Arne Slot. So I thought Liverpool was the club that he was going to go after Real Madrid. But clearly, over the past month, Liverpool must have told him, we are sticking with Arne Slot. Of course, not bearing what happened yesterday, but let's take the whole month into account. The last 2 months into account. I think Liverpool must have basically said to him, listen, we would love to get you, but Arne Slot, we're not planning to sack him. So we would advise you to look somewhere else, or maybe wait for us, maybe next year. Maybe Arne Slot doesn't do well next year, and we'll take you. And then Xabi Alonso pretty much took that as a, you know what, let me find a new destination. I think everyone knows the Premier League was always going to be a attracting job for him because he's made it clear when he was at Liverpool, when he was at Real Madrid, down the line, he can see himself in the Premier League. I did not think it was going to be Chelsea because I look at Chelsea and there's so many things that Alonso, he stands for, his embodiment of so many things. Chelsea is not that. Alonso wants full control. At Real Madrid, he never got that. At Real Madrid, he wanted the power. He wants the player power. He wants to control that, the signings and everything else. And towards the end, the Real Madrid players out-egoed him completely. They outpowered him completely. And that's what pretty much happened at Real Madrid. I think at Real Madrid, it worked well initially. I think at Real Madrid, he had the right vision. And looking back at it, he was a victim. He was a victim of what happened this season with one of the worst seasons of Real Madrid ever. And he was a victim of it. He came in with a lot of strategies, with a lot of aims, with a lot of like different roles and different tactics. And the Madrid players didn't vibe with it. The Madrid players basically said, who are you? We literally won the Champions League in the La Liga 2 years ago, like a year before you. Why are you coming in here and trying to give us so many rules? And the fact that he added a filming session about 4 to 5 hours, which Real Madrid barely did. And he added so many things to this Real Madrid team. And it worked initially. He was on a good winning streak, only losing one game come October. Like, come October, we only lost one game. But then the players didn't like it. Fede, Vinny, other players didn't like it. And from there, it really became downhill. And this is what I expect at Chelsea. I think if Chelsea is giving him full control, if Chelsea is basically telling him, listen, we're going to give you the full power. None of the players will try to out-ego you. None of the players will try to think they're bigger than you. And we are going to give you the reassurance that we're going to give you signings. If that's the case, then I think this will be a successful signing. But I look at Enzo Maresca, and I think Enzo Maresca, is the biggest victim, and I think he's the happiest man in the world. After what's happened to Chelsea since ever since they sacked him, I think he's been the happiest man in the whole world. Because everything that he wanted, Enzo Maresca, when he first, when last summer, when he beat Paris Saint-Germain, and they won the Club World Cup, and last season they won the Conference Cup, and last season they finished in the top 5, and he made it very clear. I want this, this, this. I want this, 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 and in order for me to compete, I could potentially compete. I've just beaten the treble winners. I could compete. I just need 1, 2, 3 pieces, and that's all you need to give me. They never gave it to him. I think Blueco have shown over the past 2 years they want a yes man. They hired Enzo Maresca from Leicester, from the Championship, in order for him to be a yes man. I think that's the project of Blueco. That's what Blueco wants. And the moment Enzo Maresca basically went a little bit over the board by saying, I want a centre-back, give me a centre-back. If you don't give me a centre-back, I'm going somewhere else. Blueco basically said, you know what, bun you. Get the hell off. Get the hell off my club. You're sacked. And I'm worried that could happen to Xabi Alonso. Unless he sat down with Blueco themselves and Blueco has given him the reassurance that, yo, we are going to give you whatever piece you want. That sounds crazy as well. That's a big pause. But we're going to give you any signings you want. We're going to give you any resources that you want. That's fine. The only thing which I don't like, there is some similarities between the Madrid and there's some complete, there's nothing that similar between the Chelsea job and the Real Madrid job. The Chelsea players will not try to out-ego Xabi Alonso because they haven't won anything specific. They haven't won anything major. The Madrid players, at least every one of those players, they've got something to say, bro. They've got, like, whether that is the youngest player, whether that's the oldest player. The Chelsea players, they've got nothing to back up. Like, they only what? Club World Cup? A Conference League? Brother, you're talking to Xabi Alonso, who's won the World Cup, he's won the Champions League, he's won so many things. So it's going to be hard to out-ego Mr. Xabi Alonso. And I think if Xabi Alonso goes to Chelsea, I think the Chelsea players will listen to him compared to what it was with Real Madrid. I think with Real Madrid, he had so many rules, and the Madrid players didn't vibe with it. And the board basically sided with the players. I don't see the board siding with the Chelsea players. I think the board will basically say, yo, Alonso, you've got full control. You've got full reign on what you want to do. If you want to get rid of certain players, here you go. If you want to tell the players that they need to be at training for 6 hours and they need to run back and forth for 5 hours, no problem. If you want to add filming sessions, no problem. So I think the Chelsea players will be much more on board on it compared to what it was Real Madrid. I think he's got the right vision. I think he's got the right habits. It just depends whether the board supports him or not. And that will come down to that. I think that would be the finishing line with Xabi Alonso. I think if the board supports him to the T, and I think if the board gives him the full allowance and full resources to do whatever he wants, I think this will be a successful signing. And I would be looking forward to see what Alonso can do, because I think Chelsea at the moment are in a massive mess, bro. Massive mess. And they need a project manager. And they can't do this again. Ever since Roman left, and there's been project manager after project manager, they can't do this again. They can't hire someone with the aim of him becoming a project manager and then getting rid of him after a year. What's the point? What's the whole point of a project? You guys are signing a long-term manager. Bro, like Graham Potter, Pochettino, Enzo, they were supposed to be long-term managers. And you only stuck with them for at least, the biggest one was Enzo. You had him for a year and a half. If you need a project manager, if you need someone that can carry this Blueco project for the next 4 to 5 years and support him at all costs, then you need to do it. Then you need to show him full backing. And if Xabi Alonso is that person, I genuinely believe he can be that person. I can see Alonso doing what he did at Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen was going through a project as well, because when they signed him, they were like 10th mid-table, and look what he did in his first season, and look what he did in second season, and of course, and what happened last season. I think Alonso is a great manager. I don't want his Madrid tenure to cloud people's judgment. I think he is a good manager. There's a reason why most Madrid fans wanted him after what he did at Leverkusen. So he is a good manager. He's got the right vision. He's got the aim. He's got the right principles. It just depends whether he stick with his principles. At Real Madrid, he got rid of his principles maybe 4 months into his era, and I think maybe the Madrid players were too harsh. And look, in hindsight, I think that was the reality. I think he was a victim of it. So I don't want people to cloud maybe the fact that he got sacked at Real Madrid. I don't think that should be Like, we should have that on his on like, he got sacked on his fault. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't. Like, looking back at it, it wasn't his fault at all. So I think Chelsea could be the right team for him to build something, and I think he can build something. The same way Arteta managed to build something with Arsenal slowly and gradually. The same way Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp managed to build something after his first season. Of course, he never won anything in his first season, but they managed to build something. I think Alonso can build something special with Chelsea, and I'm going to support him because I think I was maybe too harsh. I was maybe harsh on him as well at one point throughout his tenure, and when he got sacked and when we had a good spell. I said, listen, bring him back and sack him again. Maybe I was too harsh. Maybe the players clouded my judgment. Because I'm looking at it now. The Madrid players are 1,000% at fault, and maybe he didn't deserve this. So I am going to support him, and I feel like if the Chelsea board supports him, if the Chelsea supports him, I think you guys will have a good project manager. I think you guys will have a good manager that can build a dynasty, that can maybe lay the foundation and what you guys can do. You guys want to get back to the top. You guys want to get back to what you were. I think the last couple of years, yes, the Conference League, the Club World Cup, I think it's great, but you guys haven't been serious over the past 3 years. Let's be real. You guys have not been serious over the past 3 years. I think you guys, even yourself, like even you can admit yourself, you guys are going through your own. Don't give me the Conference League. Don't have that as a testament, or the Club World Cup, bro. Like, you guys are going through your own some sort of disappointing era, like the last 2 to 3 years, and I think he can maybe change that. So I'm going to support him. And again, it depends on two things. If Bluco has given him the full power, the full control to do whatever he wishes to do, this would be a great signing. If he is going to be another victim of what Enzo Maresca were, if Bluco basically said, you're just a yes man, and if Xabi Alonso have accepted for him to be that, then he is the biggest fool in the whole world. Because he could have easily waited, because this is a risky job. Taking this job is risky. It's like the United job before Ruben and after Ruben left. There are certain jobs of like Spurs as well. Before it's risky. Like those jobs will basically make or break your CV, your resume as a manager. So he's taking a risky job. If he's just there for a yes man, then he's the biggest fool, because he could have easily waited for Liverpool, and Liverpool most likely will sack Arsenal after what happened yesterday with Salah. So I think he could have waited, but if he wanted a challenge, this is the greatest challenge. I think this is the best challenge he can ask for. Liverpool would have given him so much time. Liverpool, because he's a former player as well. Let's add to that. Liverpool would have given him 2 to 3 years, like a lot of allowance, a lot of space. Chelsea, I don't think will do that unless Bluco once again have told him, have given the reassurance. And bear in mind, the interesting thing is, it's just only 4 years. What Chelsea usually does is they give 6, 7 years to players and managers. So this is the interesting part as well. So let's see what happens. I will show him full support, and I hope it works out for Alonso. I really, really do. But put down in the comment section what you guys make of it, his signing, and what Chelsea fans expect, what Madrid fans expect, and other fans. I think if he gets full control and full power, don't be surprised if you see Chelsea maybe competing for the Premier League next season. Because I think Chelsea's team they need few pieces. I think people make it seem like Chelsea needs 7, 8, 9, 10 players. I think Chelsea's got a good team. It just depends. You need to put them in the right position, which clearly the current manager hasn't done, or Liam hasn't done, or whatever hasn't done. You need to put them in the right position. Like, you saw what Enzo Maresca did with that team. You literally saw what he did. Beating Barcelona, drawing to Arsenal with 10 players, and they played better than them as well. Beating Paris Saint-Germain. So Chelsea, they've got good players, and they've got the right pieces. They just need 3 to 4 more players, and I think Alonso can maybe find those players, and if he does, and if Chelsea brings them, hey, you might have a good team for next season. But listen, those are my thoughts. Put down in the comment section what you guys make of it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.